Welcome to The Explainer. Today we've got a fascinating story about creation. But here's the twist. It's about how a sacred prayer and its 11 guiding principles came to be, not from some grand divine vision, but from a single, very human mistake.
And that question, really, is what this is all about. Our story starts with a simple moment of lost focus, which is something we can all relate to, right? It's just an incredible reminder that sometimes our biggest breakthroughs can come from our smallest slip-ups.
All right, so let's paint a picture for you. We're going back to 1824 in Surat, India. A revered spiritual master, Shriji Maharaj, is leading a procession of his followers, and in that group is a very gifted musician named Premanand Swami.
So as the procession is moving, Premanand Swami is right in his element. He's doing what he does best, singing these beautiful devotional songs, or bhajans, to honor his master. His job, his entire focus is supposed to be on that one spiritual act.
But then, something else cuts through the air. You know, Premanand Swami has this incredibly sharp ear for music, and he picks up another sound, a really beautiful melody being sung by a woman nearby. It's just a regular worldly song, totally separate from the holy hymns they were all singing.
And boom, just like that, he's hooked. His mind just zeroes in on this new music, and without even thinking about it, he starts to slow down. He completely drifts away from his duty, from his master, and he falls behind the group, totally lost in this new sound.
But you see, nothing gets past his master, Shriji Maharaj. He notices that his musician isn't there anymore, that he's fallen behind. And instead of just leaving him, he does something really important. He actually turns his horse around and rides all the way back to him.
Now, how the master handles this is absolutely key. Premanand Swami is obviously feeling pretty embarrassed, but Shriji Maharaj doesn't yell at him. Instead, he offers this really profound but gentle piece of wisdom. And this one lesson, well, it becomes the heart of this entire story. So later on, Shriji Maharaj kind of breaks it down for him. He explains that a talent, like music, is amazing. It has its highest benefit only when you use it to please God and to deepen your devotion. Otherwise, it's just entertainment. It's a distraction that can actually pull you off your path.
So, to really let this lesson sink in, Premanand Swami accepts a penance, which is a type of special fast. But this isn't about punishment. For him, this moment is the start of a serious mission to make sure a mistake like this never, ever happens again.
Okay, so Premanand Swami is not going to let this happen again. He is on a mission to build a solid framework for perfect devotion. He wants to follow this path known as ekāntik dharma, which is all about having this intense, single-minded focus on God. And he decides he's going to turn his mistake into something that can help him and everyone else do just that.
And what he does next, it's pretty incredible. Over just 4 days, he goes on this intense journey. Day 1, he's asking questions. Day 2, he's listening and absorbing everything. Day 3, he's composing. And by day 4, he's ready to present his masterpiece.
So on that 4th day, he sings the very first verse. You can just feel the sincerity in it, can't you? It's a plea for unshakable faith, a direct answer to his own momentary lapse. He's literally building the tool he needs to stay focused for good.
Now this is the real game changer. At the very core of this new prayer, Premanand Swami built in 11 super clear, practical rules for how to live. These weren't just vague ideas. He pulled them straight from a foundational holy text, the Shikshapatri, which is basically the book of commandments for followers.
These 11 vows are the prayer's backbone, They're designed to keep a person on the right spiritual track. So what exactly are they? Let's take a look.
All right, so the first batch of these vows, they're all about the fundamentals, the core ethics. We're talking nonviolence, purity in your relationships, and staying away from things like meat and alcohol. These are the basic ground rules for a disciplined life.
And then the next set, it goes even deeper. It covers honesty, not stealing. But also, and this gets right back to Premanand Swami's original problem, it's about protecting your mind, shielding yourself from negative or faithless influences. It's all about building a fortress of devotion so you don't get distracted again.
So imagine this scene. Premanand Swami finishes singing all 12 couplets of his prayer. He's prostrating after each one, and his master, Shriji Maharaj, is just listening with total focus, and he recognizes the incredible power and honesty in what his student has created.
And then, with one simple sentence, Shriji Maharaj changes everything.
He declares that this new prayer should be sung every single day after the evening worship ritual. Just like that, he takes a personal prayer of apology and turns it into a daily ritual for all his followers. This is the moment a personal mistake becomes a public spiritual legacy.
And that's the ultimate promise of this prayer, right? The very last verse says that if you live by these 11 rules, anyone can beat the worldly distractions, the very thing that started this whole story, and ultimately reach Akshardham, which is the divine, eternal home of God.
So this whole story leaves us with a really powerful idea. A moment of human weakness, when you face it with real honesty and a desire to do better, can actually create a lasting guide for success. It's a lesson that goes way beyond the spiritual world, and it kind of makes you ask yourself, right? How do we turn our own distractions into our own discipline?